Special Counsel Jack Smith's prosecution of Donald Trump for the big coup plot has scored another procedural victory tonight. It goes to questions of accountability and whether Trump will, through the course of this process, be treated like other defendants or be allowed to use and abuse the following and the power he has to undercut this important method of holding him accountable, of trying to have accountability for the coup he's accused of as he runs for power again. And the headline you may have heard, and we're going to get into it, is this powerful appeals court siding with Jack Smith and upholding most of the gag order that he had sought and won at the lower court level. This limits what Trump can say in the case. The three-judge panel barring defendant Trump from, for example, publicly attacking potential witnesses and court staff and many of the other government employees and staff involved in this prosecution of Trump. If you follow the news, you probably know he has tried these antics in other cases, including some with lower stakes. This is the big case that is currently on a schedule to begin next year in March and which could result in his conviction or imprisonment. Donald Trump as a defendant is legally presumed innocent. Now, one difference, though, is the court did revise the order and allows Donald Trump as a defendant to publicly criticize Special Counsel Jack Smith himself. Now, the ruling says that some aspects of Trump's public statements pose a significant and imminent threat to the fair and orderly adjudication of the ongoing criminal proceeding against defendant Trump. Now, in the initial argument and request for the order, which Jack Smith won, he cited the fact that Donald Trump had all but made it legally likely that this would stick because this wasn't a close call. And if it were any other defendant, as we've noted, they might actually have their bail revoked. They might be held in prison awaiting trial in jail because of the type of things that were done, including attacking innocent people, court staff, and others. There was also the accusation that General Mark Milley, who served in the Trump administration, actually should be killed or assassinated or executed for, quote, treason. The judges wrote that while there's a strong public interest in what Trump has to say because he's a former president now running again, he still has public, of course, First Amendment rights to talk about many things. Trump, they write, is also an indicted criminal defendant and must stand trial in a courtroom under the same, I underscore that tonight for you, quote, under the same procedures that govern all other criminal defendants. That is what the rule of law means. This is a late-breaking end-of-the-week news story here, and I want to bring in one of our experts right away as we get into it, former federal prosecutor Renato Mariotti. Renato, that's just the highlight. This is a big breaking news story. It's a big win for Jack Smith, as I mentioned, with one carve-out, which is that even as a defendant, Donald Trump is still free to sort of publicly attack, and we know his style of attack, Jack Smith as the official. But it significantly limits what else Trump can do, given what he'd already done. Do you see this as an important victory, not only for Jack Smith, which is the back and forth of it, but for what everyone is supposed to care about, which is a fair trial without fear or favor by the participants and the jury?
Absolutely, Ari. This is, I think, a court masterfully dealing with a defendant who is so unique. Here's a defendant who can actually send a message directly to a witness just by a true thing, I guess, not tweeting anymore, tweeting something out. But, one point that the court made is if Trump had made these statements directly to witnesses, of course he would run afoul of any gag order. Any court, like you said, would essentially revoke his bond. And what he's trying to do is as he's done so many times, find his way around the rules, try to essentially anticipate that a court's not going to be able to craft rules that will fit the specific circumstances of who and what he is. I think the court today did a really masterful job of creating limits where, look, he can criticize Jack Smith and discuss him the same way you and I do. But when it comes to individual prosecutors of the case, when it comes to witnesses who have specific testimony that's going to be, introduced against him at trial, he does not have the right to attack those witnesses and essentially stick a mob on those people via his public statements.